Hello everybody. I want to make sure that we go over some concepts from chapter 1 and make sure that you understand and get this foundation from chapter 1 before we proceed into the other chapters. So chapter 1 gives us just some foundation information and provides us a good model that we build on. So we've got our course objectives, we've got some foundation information. I'm going to get us to the model that we're going to spend some time on. The importance of communication is going to help us not just in our professional life, it also helps you in your personal life. Now, these skills absolutely translate to the workplace. They help you when it comes to working with others. They help you when it comes to working on your resume, building those what are typically and traditionally classified as soft skills. But these are skills that you can also use when it comes to your everyday relationships. So please see these as valuable, insightful information as you comb through these chapters and these PowerPoints and these videos. So this is the model, and this is actually the transactional model. It's called just a communication model, but it's a transactional model. And this is telling you, it makes for a very messy model, which is what happens in real life. So you have two people. So if you look at the sender as being person 1, and then the receiver as being person 2. You have the sender that says something to the receiver, the person 2, and they say something, but they're not really taking turns. They might, kind of talk over each other like we do, right? And sometimes the sender says something, but the receiver was like thinking about something else, and they didn't really hear them. So a lot of things happen when we are communicating to another party. And that is the beauty of the transactional model. So the sender has a message that they are sending to the receiver. And you see that right there. But that noise happens, and the noise can happen in two different ways. Noise can be either internally, like I am currently, it's 11:34 on Tuesday the 23rd. I'm currently thinking about what I'm going to have for lunch. Now you don't hear that, but I hear it, and I'm worried about what I'm going to cook for dinner tonight. So those things are going on, but it could also be externally. Like, if I had my phone ringing right now, we would all hear that. So noise happens, and that could distort the message. You might have, you want to receive feedback from your receiver. Maybe you receive feedback and you don't clarify. There's a number of different things. It could, the context, the place in which this conversation took place might make you uncomfortable. And like, I'm totally okay with talking to my students about class in class, but if I run into you at the grocery store, it makes me stutter. I have no idea what I'm supposed to say to you at the grocery store. So those things matter, and that's the beauty of this model. It kind of takes all of those things into play. The channel also adds to it. If you're face to face with somebody, it helps you kind of understand a little bit better. But if it's you have sent that message through a text message, that channel is completely different. Sometimes I have no idea how to interpret your tone through a text message, and therein lies one of our issues. So this is a great way to explain why we have so many misinterpretations when it comes to our communication, when we might feel like we are a very good communicator. There's just a lot that goes on. So this is just kind of breaking down what we just discussed. We've got the sender and the receiver. You've got the message and the feedback. You've got the channel, which is the way in which you communicated. You've got the context, that location. You've got the internal and the external noise. You've also got apprehension. Okay, so let's think about the level of anxiety you might have in thinking about going to speak at a podium and give a public speech versus the level of anxiety you might have just talking to your best friend. I mean, those things change. You might not have any anxiety whatsoever in either one of those situations, but you might have a lot of anxiety in one versus the other. So it really kind of depends on the situation as to how much anxiety or how anxious you feel in those situations. And that's what apprehension is all about. It's just about the level of anxiety that you feel depending upon the situation, the person, the location. And that can be caused from a variety of different reasons. It could just be one of these things. It could be a number of these things. It could be a combination. And then we also have communication ethics. Why do you say it? What motivated you to say it? All of those things. Did you withhold it? You know, because that's a factor too. All of those factors add to the story of the message. And though that concludes the major concepts from chapter 1. So once you go through that and you watch this and you look at your PowerPoints, if you have any questions, please let me know. I'm more than happy to clarify all of them. You guys have a great remainder of your day.